Before we start talking about the PMBOK guide and the parts of the guide, the principles and everything, let's go back a little bit and let's talk about what is a project. I know that it may sound weird to say why Ricardo is starting a course talking about projects. It's because if I don't explain you the reason why projects exist, it's very hard for you to understand what project management is about and why the PMBOK guide exists. The best way to explain this is through a drawing. And I did this a long time ago when I was talking and trying to explain to my mother what I was doing for a living. And this is the example I gave to her. So imagine here a border, okay? An undefined border that split two different areas. Inside with this big P is the possible area. Things that are possible to be done. And outside is the impossible. Things that there is no technology, it's just impossible. For example, you want to take a man in the moon in 5 seconds. Okay, there is no technology, there is no possibility with the current environment to do that. So this is on the impossible side. But take a man in the moon, then it's possible. We already did that. So where are the projects? So when you think about a project, you need to understand where all the projects you do, no matter if it's a technology project or if it's a construction, a road, whatever. So when you think a project, you will never see a project here or here. Let's quote this, an easy project. There is no easy project. Have you seen that? When the project is very easy, usually you are not part of the team managing it because it's a different environment. Most of the projects you will handle, they are on this area. In this border, every single project you do, no matter the way you approach it, has this, I would say, taste of impossible. The challenge, it's maybe time, the challenge maybe it's the value of the product, the challenge it's maybe some regulation and law, sometimes technology, but it's always this frontier. Why you don't do projects here? Because when you talk about value, and we will talk about this a lot when we are talking about the principles and all this value delivery system, there is no way for you to produce value doing what anyone does. Because if you start doing what everyone else does, there is no value. The value is for you to do things that others are not able to do. For example, when you see the success of Netflix today, Netflix is a perfect example. Why Netflix became so valuable? Because they were able, for some reason, to make things that in the past, for example, Blockbuster was unable to do. But of course, if Netflix just sit, relax and wait, what may happen in the future? They may be surpassed by someone else. Why? Because this border, and this is why I draw this border in such a undefined shape, because this border is expanding. Companies are working like crazy to transform impossible things into possible things. This is why you do digital transformation. This is why you try to reinvent your business model. Why? Because you want to do things that you were unable to do in the past. But in order to grow this, the only possible way of making this movement is through what is called a project. I know that many approaches, they don't like the word project. I personally, I don't care about what is the word. If you want to call it initiative, if you want to call whatever you want. For me, what is a project? A project is any effort you make to transform ideas into reality in a time frame. And that's it. For example, I have this idea of building a new technology or this. I have this timeline and I need to deliver it. This is for me a project. And what is a delivery approach? So when we talk about a specific delivery approach, so what every single delivery approach aims to do. For example, when you study Scrum or Kanban or Prince2 or FEL or front-ended loading, what is your aim, the only aim that you and anyone else is trying to do? You want to take this thin wall that you are walking, this is you and your team walking here, okay? What do we want? We want just to make this border a little bit wider, because this will help you to walk here without falling. Instead of trying to make yourself walking in a string, in a cable, you walk in a wall. And this is exactly what project management is about. And project management as a concept. And not I'm talking about predictive of waterfall or iterative or agile. No, all project, every time you put your mind to work in order to improve your way to handle this frontier, you are doing a project. And this is exactly why the PMBOK exists. In the past, PMBOK was very much concerned on saying you should walk this way or that way. On the new PMBOK, you will see it's a different, saying no matter how do you want to walk, if you want to walk with 1 foot or 2 feet, if you want to run, if you want to use a bike to walk here, it doesn't matter. But there are a set of things that you need to pay attention. And this is all about what we will see on this course that is starting now.